A dog you walk. Good evening, Instagram. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I wonder if you got Reynolds. So many people do. We're all just a little bit old. You made it, Mum. Welcome. No. Oh, very odd. Yeah, you had that problem last time. Yes, this meditation will start in a few moments. So if you're joining live or not live, just find your seat, maybe turn your phone notifications off. And for you guys too, maybe turn your phone notifications off so you're not going to be disturbed. And we will start the meditation soon. Any special requests for this evening's meditation? Okay, so some grounding. Yeah, okay, good. All right, we're going to have a grounding meditation this evening, body focused. I've had a few people say they are joining but going to be late, so they may join while we've already started the meditation. Morning, evening, Anne. I nearly said morning. I don't know what day it is. Hey, thank you for joining. Lovely to see you. Yeah, we were just saying it's a bit cold. Vince has got a wearable hot water bottle. I've just got one I'm hugging. My office is freezing cold. Yeah, so this is very nice and cozy. Yeah, cold again. Yeah, they were gritting the other day. Okay. So I think what we'll do is get started. Does that sound like a good idea? So shall we find our seat? And if you're in a chair, that means maybe placing the feet flat on the floor. Maybe it means kind of making sure that you're not too slouchy on the chair, that you're wakeful. Or if you're my mum, you're lying on the sofa. Yawning. Just a hunch. Okay, cool. Yeah, and when we're ready, what we'll do is we'll close down our eyes and I'm going to ring the chime and then I will start the guidance. So, settle in as best you can. So we'll very gently and slowly begin to arrive, to set the intention to be here now, to give ourselves permission for this time for ourselves, this time of non-doing. This time of slowing down and tuning in. Beginning to just notice how we're doing just right now. Maybe there's sensations in our body that we can notice. Doing our best not to judge. Just becoming aware of this body and the range of sensations here. Perhaps also noticing thoughts as they move through our mind. Maybe they're feeling racy and jumbly and a bit overwhelming, or perhaps we're finding some space, some stillness, or maybe a bit of both, or something else. Just noticing, tuning in, perhaps aware of our heart space, any emotions that might be present just right now. Like we would a friend, just checking in. And when we feel ready, we can begin to narrow our focus, a bit like a torchlight. So shining that torchlight on our feet. We're just beginning to notice any specific sensations in our feet, just right now. Maybe there's some tingling. And if we wish, we can wriggle our toes and scrunch up our feet and then release. Just to support us to feel these feet. Noticing pressure and contact. Perhaps we can also sense our ankles. Maybe even moving the feet around so we can feel our ankles. Becoming aware of our shins and calves. Feel free to clench those calves and release it. Just notice how that feels. Whatever we need to do to support us to shine that torch beam on our shins and calves. Noticing now our knees. Maybe there's a bend in our knees that we can feel. Perhaps we can notice clothing stretched over our knees or scrunched under our knees. Maybe we want to straighten and bend our legs so we can better feel sensations in our knees. Now shining that torch beam on our thighs. Noticing those areas of contact and pressure. Maybe we can feel our muscles. Perhaps aware of the chair supporting us. Maybe we want to clench our thigh muscles and release. Noticing our thighs just as they are, just right now. Not needing to fix or change anything. Just sensing into our thighs. And so too with our hips and pelvic area. Maybe clenching our glutes and releasing. Noticing how this chair is supporting us. Maybe it's the sofa or the floor, whatever is beneath us. Feeling that support. Sensing into the whole of the lower half of our body now. All the different sensations here that remind us that we have this body, that it's vibrant and vital. It's still now, but it serves us throughout the day. Maybe even seeing where we can cultivate some gratitude for this lower half of our body. Our wonderful feet, our amazing legs, as best we can. And also our hips and pelvic area, as it supports our spine and the top half of our body. So sensing the length of our spine now, vertebrae by vertebrae. Maybe allowing our spine to lengthen. Noticing if we're holding any tension in our back or in our shoulders. And softening. Letting go. Maybe we want to squeeze our shoulders up to our ears and then release. Really letting that go. Letting those shoulders drop down and back, creating space between our ears and shoulders. With each out breath, seeing if we can soften a little bit more and let go. Right now there's nothing to solve or fix or do. We're just here with this body in this moment, sensing in. Feeling the tops of our arms, maybe clenching our biceps and releasing. Feeling our elbows and forearms, wrists and hands, and we might want to clench those hands, release. And noticing in the releasing where we can also let go, where we can release any tension, where we can sense into the sensations in our hands just right now. In our fingers and thumbs, and our fingernails. So our torch beam is focused on these hands. And our attention is narrow. We are choosing to focus on our hands in this moment. And maybe now we can move that torch beam to the back of our neck, really aware of how it's holding up our head. Maybe we can now feel the back of our head and the sides and the top of our head. And perhaps imagining a piece of string that's supporting us to be upright. Feeling our forehead and temples and our eyebrows. Maybe we can wriggle our eyebrows to better feel them, to help us release tension. Wriggle, wriggle. Feeling our eyes and softening the gaze behind our eyelids. Maybe noticing anything we can see. Any shapes or colours behind our eyelids. Moving that torch beam focus to our nose. Beginning to feel the breath as it enters through our nostrils and as it leaves. So that narrow focus of attention is just at the tip of our nose, perhaps our top lip as well, so we can sense this point of entry of our breath in through our nostrils and out. Maybe it's a little bit cooler coming in and warmer going out. There's a cycle and flow of each breath that we may choose to stay focused on as we breathe. Our body knows exactly what to do. Just breathing. Maybe even wriggling our nose if that helps to stay focused. Feeling our lips now, maybe pursing our lips together and then releasing. Feeling our jaw, maybe giving our jaw a wriggle. Feeling our tongue, resting our tongue on the roof of our mouth. Letting the jaw be slack and soft. The face released of any tension. Noticing our ears and taking a moment to tune into any sound. So the torch beam is now on our ears. Letting sound come to us. Travelling through space to our eardrums. Sound waves. Doing our best not to judge sound, just to listen to sound as sound. And now bringing our attention back to this body and shining this torch beam on our chest and belly. So our focus becomes this body breathing, this cycle and flow of this body, of this breath. And knowing that every time we get caught up in a chain of thought we might not want to be on, we can choose to come back to this breath and this breath over and over again. So we're slowing down, we're tuning in. And we're simply aware of our breath. Of this breath. And if at any point it's too difficult to stay with our body breathing, we might want to find sensations in our feet or our seat. Or maybe our hands, or we can stay with our breath. Just noticing the moment to moment sensation of this body breathing, this body sitting, of just this. Just this. This breath, this moment, this body. If we notice ourselves somewhere else, it's okay. This is what minds do. We can bring that torch beam back to this chest, this belly, maybe the throat, or maybe the nose. Wherever we feel this breath most in our body. And let our attention rest gently here in this cycle and flow. Noticing if any tension has built up in the body and softening, releasing, letting go. We'll begin to take a deeper breath now, so really filling in the lungs, expanding the ribs. And on the out breath, let's breathe out through our mouth nice and slowly, releasing and softening. Let's take another deep breath in. And when we're ready, a really long, slow, releasing out breath, letting the shoulders just release and drop down, really emptying those lungs. Let's take one final deep breath in together. Really slowing down that out breath. And as we let the breath return to its usual rhythm, reflecting for a moment on that meditation, what did you notice? What was it like to take that time for yourself? And how are you doing now? Beginning to sense into the whole of this body, so aware of our face and our head and our throat and neck, aware of our shoulders and arms and hands, our chest and our belly, the length of our back, our hips and pelvic area, our legs and our feet. So we're expanding that torch beam to include a sense of this whole body just as it is, just right now. And let's expand it further to sense the space around this body, listening for any sounds, maybe in the room we're in or outside the room, as well as my voice. So we're aware of what we're aware of in this moment. As we wriggle our fingers and toes, and maybe turning our wrists and ankles, giving ourselves a stretch. And I'd like to just share with you a little quote that I put on my newsletter email today that I loved so much that I wanted to repeat in this meditation. So this is from the very wonderful Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. He says, "I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and love. Mm-hmm. So, I'd love to hear from you on Instagram and those of you at home on Zoom. Maybe we can have one word of how you're feeling just right now. You can put it in the chat if you prefer. One word. Anyone want to popcorn it out how you're feeling in this moment? Agitated. Okay. That was quite a long meditation. Oh, we've got soothed and peaceful. And thank you, Vince. Not because of me, good. Calm. Oh, Jono, I'm pleased to hear that. Relaxed. Super. Well, you know what? Meditation can be very agitating and difficult. It can be calm and it can be soothing and it can be relaxing and it can be frustrating and it can be unpleasant or pleasant or both or everything and all of it, because it's a practice. And I'm really grateful to you, Vince, for being honest and saying that, because sometimes I think there's an idea, certainly in society at the moment, that says meditate and you'll be calm. And in fact, my email today probably didn't really help that very much, this promise of calm and relaxation if you come and join me tonight. But it doesn't always work that way, does it? It reflected how you are in this moment. Yeah. And maybe just the noticing of that will enable you to then make some kind steps towards yourself on ways of managing that agitation, if it's possible. Sometimes when we're overwhelmed and there's a lot going on and we're having to fix and solve all the time, and the brain is... be very difficult. I'm just going to say goodnight to Instagram and to Jono and whoever else is with me. Thank you for joining. I wish you all a peaceful night's sleep, or a wonderful day if you're watching this and it's the recording of it. Lots of love.